In 1995, Pixar Animation Studios released the first feature-length computer-animated film, Toy Story. It wasn't long before other studios began to embrace this technology. In fact, in 1998, DreamWorks Animation released their first computer-animated film, Ants, a month before Pixar's second offering, A Bug's Life. There are, of course, some rather obvious similarities between the two films. Personally, I prefer A Bug's Life. However, this wasn't the only time the output of these two studios would be compared to one another. In 2003, Pixar released the ocean-based Finding Nemo. In 2004, DreamWorks released the similarly aquatic-themed Shark Tale. Many have also drawn comparisons between Pixar's 2012 offering, Brave, and the 2010 DreamWorks film, How to Train Your Dragon. It is this comparison that I want to examine in this video. Before we begin, be warned this video will include spoilers. There are a number of notable similarities between the two films, such as their young protagonists, fantasy elements, and even societies populated by characters with Scottish accents. In fact, both films include Craig Ferguson in the cast. However, I want to focus on one particular aspect which I believe highlights a significant difference between the two films: the way each resolves the central conflict between their respective protagonists, Hiccup and Merida, and their parents, Stoic the Vast and Queen Eleanor. Both Hiccup and Merida struggle with their parents' expectations, and the traditions of their respective cultures. Neither feels they fit the mold they are being forced into. Quite literally in Merida's case.
It's too tight!
It's perfect.
Most importantly, they believe that they know best, and that their parents are in the wrong. In How to Train Your Dragon, the familial conflict stems from the two characters' perceptions of the titular dragons. Initially, Hiccup believes, as his father does, that dragons are a threat to their village, just as their people have for generations.
One day I'll get out there. Because killing a dragon is everything around here.
But after he injures and tracks down a Night Fury, Hiccup discovers that dragons are not the aggressive creatures he had been taught to believe.
Everything we know about you guys is wrong.
In fact, he comes to believe that dragons are not evil at all. Unless they're especially big and scary, I guess.
Here it comes!
I've always found that distinction strange. However, Hiccup keeps this newfound knowledge to himself, making no effort to share the information with anyone else. He intentionally deceives his father by going behind his back to pursue what he believes to be the right course of action. Furthermore, when his secrecy is discovered, Hiccup simply continues to defy the wishes of his father until Stoic eventually comes around to his son's way of thinking.
I'm sorry. For everything.
The film depicts Hiccup as a hero for showing his father the error of his ways.
Turns out all we needed was a little more of this.
You just gestured to all of me.
While accepted wisdom should be allowed to be challenged, and Hiccup's desire to protect a group of largely innocent creatures does him credit, his approach comes across as arrogant and immature. Never once does he consider the possibility that he may be wrong, or that his father may have anything of value to offer. In fact, Hiccup's hubris leads to tragic consequences in the second film. However, when viewed in isolation, this film appears to reinforce the attitude that parents are old-fashioned and ignorant. The familial conflict in Brave is, on the surface, a little more straightforward.
I don't want to get married. I want to stay single and let my hair flow in the wind as I ride through the glen, firing arrows into the sunset.
Princess Merida is frustrated with her mother's unceasing attempts to groom her into a proper lady, while Eleanor is equally frustrated with her daughter's disregard for tradition.
I think you'd see if you could just...
I think I could make you understand if you would just
listen.
listen.
Things come to a head when Merida is forced to choose a suitor to marry. Merida actually takes things further than Hiccup by attempting to coerce her mother into her way of thinking through the use of magic.
Are you sure you know what you're doing? I want a spell to change my mum. That'll change my fate.
When this plan rather inevitably backfires, and the Queen is, rather uninevitably, transformed into a bear, Merida initially refuses to accept responsibility for her actions.
Oh, that scaffy witch gave me a gammy spell. It's not my fault. I didn't ask her to change you into a bear. just wanted her to change you.
However, with the bear-hating King Fergus on the hunt, unaware that his quarry is actually his beloved wife, the pair are forced to cooperate. Over the course of their shared adventure, both mother and daughter eventually learn to better appreciate the other's perspective, and crucially, allow for compromise.
You changed. Oh, darling. We both have.
This experience also brings both characters closer together. The film demonstrates the importance of mutual respect between children and their parents, and reinforces the importance of a balanced family dynamic. Now, I don't have children, so any parenting opinions I have to offer are somewhat theoretical. However, I have been a child, and I do have parents. Two pretty great ones, actually. I'd like to think I've learnt a thing or two as I've grown up. While it is important for parents to allow their children to express their own thoughts and opinions, the truth is young people don't always know best, and sometimes do need to trust the wisdom and experience of those who have gone before them. How to Train Your Dragon does have one advantage, in that it has 2 sequels which continue to develop its characters, whereas Brave does not. Unless you count Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Ach, lang me your lumrieke me a moose nail lee your gurnal wi' a teardrop in his eye. Hey, she back, wee lassie?
Uh-huh. What did she just say?
We don't know. We can't understand her.
She's from the other studio.
Hiccup does continue to grow and mature as a character across the 3 films. Personally, I think it's one of the best animated trilogies ever made. In fact, now that Toy Story has become a quadrilogy, it might just be the best. However, that doesn't mean I can't criticize certain aspects of the films. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know which of these 2 films is your favourite and why. Also, let me know what you think of this new video series. If you liked this video, why not give it a thumbs up? Maybe share it with a friend. Or an enemy. Either way, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to see more content here on Channel 73.